Very much a case of rains on Sunday, dig mud on Monday. What do you think, Dylan? It's pretty bad, huh? I'm gonna go show Skylar's off now. Does this thing give you... Oh, that's cute. God, I'm ugly. Howdy. What are you doing? Wrecked a few things, huh?
Loose or missing.
Oh.
Some pins.
Oh, look at that. Those wet corn stalks wrapping around the... They drive, they sprocket. That's cool. That's what's throwing your chains off, huh?
Well, I didn't have any issues yesterday.
Oh, that actually, that's actually a really good way to tension them, probably.
But yeah,
Puts a little bit of
in
space in there, keeps them from falling off. You'll love to see it.
Like this missing pin over here.
Ah, who needs a closing disc in here? Huh.
And a few of these cotter pins that always break on me.
No tilling's kind of hard on shit, ain't it?
Yeah, there's a disc loops over there.
But I guess if you weren't working on a planter, you'd be working on a digger or something, or a Turbo Max, or both. A little easier this way. I'm just putting off digging all the mud out of that corn planter. That's what I'm doing. Alright, I'm gonna go do that and fix my liquid system. Alright, Skylar got his dug out. Got this planter dug out. Blow some shit off of it here now. Kind of getting geared up, doing a little maintenance to get ready to rock and roll again. Skylar's loading the bean planter. 1-3s. And we're kind of just tinkering on stuff. Getting a few things done today. It's cold and windy, you probably can't hear shit. Yeah, they only just get a little, like a coffee can or something, and we'll rinse them with this hose. There was a lot more sludge in this thing. I don't know where it come from. The first load, or the first tank worked fine, but I don't know. Sounded like maybe. I don't want to point any fingers. The place we get our liquid from, they moved their tanks up to a new facility. And we got the first load out of it. And I think that we got the sludgy stuff. So, it is what it is. We'll get it cleaned out. Get it run through. It ain't the end of the world. So, that was my problem the other day. So, I had to pop all the orifices out of the liquid system. Gonna have to rinse some shit off, etc. It's April 30th. It's Wednesday. It's nearly 11 o'clock in the morning. It is 67 degrees and the wind is blowing 67 miles an hour out of the south, which is perfect. We're drying off good. We're warming up. We love to see it. Me and Skylar are out looking for some dry dirt, some great dirt to farm, and we're struggling just a little bit to find any yet. Things are coming around pretty nice, but I think it's going to be long after dinner before we get to do any farming around here. So we have kind of gotten everything cobbled back together. So I'm thinking this is a full quarter section of strips. I'm thinking sometime after dinner this will probably go. I got some, you know, it's really gooey underneath. It's pretty deceiving. But I got a few spots here where the dirt is shiny, but it's coming around. So it's really deceiving because it's just almost like pure goo underneath yet. And that really causes sidewall compaction. So you really want that mud to settle down just a little bit more if you can help it. And being it's only April 30th, we're just trying our best not to force things in. So we are accustomed to farming mud, but we're still on the verge of being able to plant every acre and not have turn in prevent plant this year. So that's what we're really trying to do. But I don't want to go smearing up my trenches. We've dealt with that before. If it turns off hot and dry and bakes some trenches open, oh geez, you just got nothing but a mess. So Skylar's looking at his place to see if he's got any dry dirt. I'm driving around the farm here looking for dry dirt. And like I always say, you can't work all day if you don't start till the crack of noon. So I'm heading about 15 miles north up into the hills to plant some corn today. I think by the time I get there, everything will be fit and dry. Skylar filled in a few spots with soybeans, and then he's hooking onto the digger, or the field cultivator, and he's going to go down to his land and dig his. He's got 2 quarters that we chiseled last fall because they were kind of a mess. And they needed to be shaped up, so they got to get dug, and we're down a tractor. Ideally, this one would be done drilling and be on the roller by now. The 470 could do tillage, etc. And the 270 would be planting corn. That one would be planting soybeans, but this is not how the year's going. So we're gonna put fuel on and get cracking. I don't even know what time it is. I think it is about, oh, it's about 1 o'clock. Jeez Louise.
Well, I went and filled in a little patch of beans, and now I unhooked the bean planter because we can't really do much for a day or 2 with that. But we still got couple fields to roll, and now we got a couple I can go dig here. So I didn't really want to unhook the roller because Dylan can come out later and roll them fields, but this way I can just go get digging. That tire was flat and I tried to air it up and there's a big old hole in it. So I stole the spare off the chisel plow over there, which I already stole the other spare for one of these other wing wheels. So now both the spares for the chisel plow are on the digger. So I better get that figured out someday. But hopefully pretty uneventful, going back down to my stuff 30 minutes away or so. So it'll take me about an hour to get there, so hopefully it goes good.
so I thought I'd better get the old camera out while we're going through the rocks here. Up here in the hills a little bit. You can't tell, it don't matter. Bouncing across this strip-tilled headland. Off my line a little bit at the moment. I had to drive the first one. So I lost my lines, and then I just didn't transfer my strip-till lines to this tractor because I didn't care that much. We're out here raw dogging it, we're planting corn. Everything else seems to be working though, so that's pretty cool. We're just doing well. My iPad still isn't working, but everything else is working. Well, you'll have to forgive me a little bit. I keep forgetting to pick up the camera. All you do out here is make a lot of headlands. A lot of planter mounts going on right now too. There's still a whole nother like island over here, and there's another island inside there. So it's kind of been. Now I got to get all this done so I can make my back and forth. Yada yada. We're still planting along. Dylan's rolling. Skylar's digging. Kind of going good today. I'm starting to kind of convince myself that these row cleaners make my planter mounts more than they do. Like the planter rides better when they're up. You know what I'm saying? Too much bar bounce back there. Damn things are down. I don't know. I'm still just not convinced I need them. Just, you know, I don't know.
Rolling away. Couple more passes and I'll be on to the next one. Came to visit me. Just finished the first field, now we're moving on to this one.
So we're just filling up fertilizer here. Running 1034 with the quart of zinc at 3 gallons to the acre. So it's just kind of part of the nitrogen program at this point. It's not really a pop-up or anything. So I don't know, planting conditions are great. We're planting in the strip-till bean stubble again. Things are going nicely. Planter's working pretty well. I did find a little mud not long ago. Kind of wadded her up again. Uh-oh. That's how you break your fertilizer lines. Have to stop and dig them off again. out here planting away yet. Co-op boys are over there. I don't know if you can see them. They're spreading fertilizer. We got some rain moving in on us again, so kind of like no more than just get going and she rains again. So we'll see what becomes of it. It's definitely creeping in on me. But things are running pretty good today. Everything's working so far yet. There's about 140 acres up here, so it's a proper 15, 18 miles north of the farm, and it takes a little while to get up here. Kind of needed all morning to keep drying. I did find a little mud. I think I talked about it. I don't know if I'll get done before the rain, but we're sure gonna try. It's gonna be a close call. I'd sure love to get this one finished up just because it's so far. Well, I shouldn't say so far up here, but it's just far enough away I don't want to have to drive back up here to finish. This planter's got to go about 45 miles south tomorrow if it doesn't rain, so it would also be good if I got done up here tonight yet, which, like I said, I think I will. We'll just have to see. It has been going smoothly today for once. Took my drone up, got some nice footage, so that was pretty fun. I keep hoping to get a little bit closer, get a little bit more of a lightning show here, and I'll take it back up, do some droning again.
So we're trying to get away from doing a bunch of this, which is chisel plowing in the fall and then digging in the spring is what we did here. And we're trying to do less of that just because we don't think it's necessary. We're trying to do more strip till and no-till type stuff. But on this stuff, it just is so compacted a couple inches down. I mean, it's all tiled, and it's just, the water can't infiltrate through that hard pan, even though it's tiled all through here. So it still didn't run water like it should, and still didn't drain water very good. Especially on a huge, like 15-acre chunk of this field next to me here. It just sat there for the longest time. And then water would always sit there every spring, so then it'd just get worse and worse. We did this on the field over to the east, and it made a huge difference. I mean, that field didn't used to, or it hasn't been farmed in total for quite a few years, and we've farmed basically the entire thing for the last, well, this would be the third, and I just planted that the other night, and I got the whole thing. So I mean, it made a big difference, and we are drier, so that helps too, but it definitely helps drain water a lot.
So I think it's sprinkling a little bit. I'm not quite sure how much I got left. For some reason my field acre counter thingy didn't reset, so I don't really know what we got. Less than 40. Less than 40, probably 30 or so acres to go. It's a lot of lightning in the west. The wind has switched directions now. It's out of the northwest, so I'm trying to get I gotta get back on them some long rounds to go here, and they'll go a lot faster once I get into them. I'm doing short rounds right now from the fence to the yard, and I think those are sprinkles. I don't know. We're pouring piss. We're trying to get her done here because I don't want to have to come back up here tomorrow.
Just finished up down here. I'm just gonna fold up and head back up to the farm. p.m. made it back to the yard. And I'm struggling here. I'm glad I didn't move that car back over by the shop, so I can get in and go without walking all the way across the yard. Because I'm lazy and I want to go home now. See what happens tomorrow.
Well, that'll do it for today's video. We got rained out again last night, 4 to 7/10, depending on where you're at. Tractor's trashed. I drove home in quite a bit of rain. So the first rain that rained me out last night late was not the same rain that made this mud. That came more this morning early, kind of like unexpectedly. So planter's trashed again, tractor's trashed again. At this point, it is what it is. Stuck all the dust to it. So we got to empty the CCS tanks and switch back to a different corn. Things are all screwed up this year between breakdowns and these little rain delays. You make a plan, think you're going to go to the next field, and then it rains you out, so you got to go find somewhere else to go. Dump corn out, yada yada. But I guess we're happy to be planting again. We had all 3 machines going yesterday, or 3 tractors running yesterday, and not one breakdown. So at this point, it's kind of a miracle. But anyways, that's what we're working on. That and editing a video. Trying to get that all done today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Share it with your friends.